Hi, it's Michael Lavin here from Expat Wealth Advice. So the question that I've been asked is my financial information shared with the Spanish tax authorities? And the answer to this question is something that I've been itching to make a video about, because all of this has really significantly changed in the last 12 months. And what's happened is, because Brexit has been such a big news story, the coverage for these changes in this area has been unfortunately drowned out. But it is something that's really important, and I'm going to explain to you precisely what you need to know. Okay, so let me explain why I think these changes are so dramatic. And the easiest way of doing that is to compare how things were before with how they're now going to be moving forward. So previously, if the Spanish tax authorities, or any other tax authorities for that matter, wanted information about what assets you held either in Spain or offshore, it would have been a manual process. So they would have had to look you up and then write to the bank or investment company they wanted information from and request details of the money that you held with this company. And of course, as you can imagine, just logistically, doing that for too many people in a tax year would be impractical. They just wouldn't have the manpower to do that. And so it meant that previously, if you had one of these requests made about your assets from the Spanish tax authorities, you would have been really, really unlucky. The odds would have been stacked in your favour in terms of not having a request like this made about the money that you hold. And this is where things have now dramatically changed. So what's going to happen on early next year is for the first time ever, banks and investment companies are going to be compelled to automatically route back all of your information to the Spanish tax authorities. And this is part of something which is called automatic exchange of financial information. And lots of companies signed up, including the UK and Spain, and also places like Jersey and the Isle of Man. So all these countries are signed up, and they've agreed to the financial companies having to report back to the tax authority in which someone is tax resident, to the country where someone's tax resident. They've got to report back to the tax authority all the information about the money that you hold. Okay, so why is this important? Well, first of all, the information about you now is going to be available literally at the click of a button for the tax authorities. So out of the window is that long-winded manual process, which would have meant doing this too often would have been completely impractical. So it's all going to be electronic, and it's all going to be at the click of a button. The other reason this is important is because lots of British expats have made mistakes about how their money should be taxed. So if you are a Spanish tax resident, you are taxed on a worldwide basis, which is something that lots of people haven't realised, and they've felt that assets they have back in the UK aren't subject to Spanish taxation, which they indeed are. So that's another reason why it's important. And also it's important particularly for people in Spain, because Spain of course has the form Modelo 720, which requires you to declare your overseas assets. So it's really, really straightforward now for the Spanish tax authorities to, in one hand, hold your Modelo 720 form, and then the other hand look at a computer screen and see what information they've received from the banks and investment companies about what you have held, and compare the two, and of course look for any discrepancies. So what I'd suggest in terms of next steps is you really do want to make sure that you're squeaky clean. So you need to make sure that you are declaring all of your assets and that you're paying the appropriate taxes. The problem here is that Spain is a high tax jurisdiction. So in Spain, income tax can get as high as almost 50%. So it's a high tax country. So if you do this, a lot of people will end up paying lots of tax. The good news is there are some really good tax exemptions available to British expats living in Spain, which can dramatically reduce the tax you would pay on your savings and investments. So if you make good use of these tax exemptions, you could even be in the position where you end up paying less tax in Spain, regarded as a high tax country, than you do in the UK, or you would do in the UK. So my advice here is to look at what you've got, make sure you've properly understood how your assets should be taxed, declare everything, because things are going to be really transparent moving forward. So there's a really high probability you'll get caught out if you're not completely transparent with the tax authorities. And then the third thing you need to do is look at what tax exemptions you have available and make sure you really are maximising those to legitimately drive down the taxes that you need to pay. Hi, I'd just quickly like to tell you about some really good free resources I think you'll find incredibly useful. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is our free report, and this has been written especially for UK expats living in Spain. It'll also be really useful for anyone who's thinking about moving to Spain as well. And the report explains precisely how you may be able to take advantage of tax exemptions to save up to 23% tax on your savings and investments as a UK expat living in Spain. So if you're watching this video right now on YouTube, you can click on the link on this video, or if that doesn't work, head across to expatwealthadvice.com. If you're already on the website, if you can't see the link on the page that you're on right now, then go across to our home page and the link should be really clear. Okay, so the other thing is, mentioning the website, I say if you're not already on the website right now watching the video, head across to our website. There's some really good free information. So lots of articles and videos and other good stuff on there, providing need-to-know information for UK expats living in Spain or thinking about moving to Spain. And the thing is, expat finance can be really confusing because what you've got to do is you've got to take into account both UK laws and taxation and also the laws of taxation of Spain too. And what we do is we seek to simplify that and provide you with useful how-to information. As an extension of that, we do provide independent one-to-one financial advice. If you're interested in speaking to me personally about your circumstances, right now I am offering informal one-to-one phone calls which you can book right now. Now I might not be offering this forever because it does take up quite a bit of my time, but I say right now you can speak to me free of charge for about 20 minutes on the phone. We go through your circumstances and I can try and help you with any questions or any areas that you're not clear about. To do that, there should be an orange button on this video right now which says book a phone call, so you can click on that. Or if you're on our website, on the top right of each page, there's an orange button which allows you to book a phone call straight into my diary. Okay, and last but not least, please subscribe to our YouTube channel using the red button on this video right now. What that means is that every time you log into YouTube, you'll get our new videos and updates so you can stay up to date with what we are putting out there in terms of expat information. So please remember, these videos are just for information only, and as a simple rule, I'd always suggest if you're going to make any decision, which if you could get it wrong will be costly for you, then always seek independent professional advice to make sure that you do make the best decision. Great, hope you found this useful and that you'll be able to take advantage of some of the free resources that I've just spoken about.